Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. Introduce myself. My name is Elsa. You can call me Echa. Here I will explain the material that has been discussed for 3 weeks. Materi yang pertama yaitu the characteristic of young learners. English for young learners. Early childhood refers to children from their first years of formal school, 5 sampai 7 tahun atau 11 sampai 12 tahun, or can also be said from elementary school to high school. The characteristic and needs of students are discussed as follows. The first characteristics of elementary school children is that they like to play. This characteristic requires elementary school teacher to carry out educational activities that contain more games, especially for lower class. The second characteristic is that they like to move. Adults can sit for hours while elementary school children can sit quietly for a maximum 30 menit. The third characteristic of elementary school children is that children enjoy working in groups. From their interaction with peer groups, children learn important aspects in the socialization process, such as learning to comply with group rules, learning to be loyal, learning not to depend on being accepted in the environment, learning to accept a responsibility, learning to compete with others in a healthy. Selanjutnya materi yang kedua yaitu the characteristic of teacher young learner. Ada beberapa karakteristik untuk menjadi seorang guru yang efektif menurut Moreno pada tahun 2011. Nah, yang pertama itu pengetahuan dan keterampilan profesional. Effective teachers have a good understanding of the subject matter and teaching skills. Subject matter competence, having a mature, flexible, conceptual understanding of the subject matter is essential to being an effective teachers. Learning strategies. There are two approach to characterizing the way teacher teach: constructivist and direct instruction. Thinking skills. Effective teachers model and communicate good thinking skills, especially thinking skills which involve thinking reflexively and productively, and evaluating evidence. Yang kedua, komitmen, motivasi dan kepedulian. Menjadi guru yang efektif membutuhkan yang namanya komitmen, memberikan motivasi kepada peserta didiknya dan memberikan rasa peduli, memberikan rasa aman terhadap muridnya. Nah, ciri-ciri guru yang baik yaitu yang pertama, be a good communicator. He should be comfortable explaining things and enjoy doing the same. Have a good emotional management. At times, a teacher may feel like shouting or yelling at his students, but a good teacher is one who knows how to control his emotion and act calmly in such situation. Have a good sense of humor. Yang keempat, be wise in using time. A good teacher should have good time management skills and always appreciate the importance of time. Yang kelima, adopt a fired attitude. He should be fired to his profession and judge students based on their performance, not on personal relationship and preference. Yang keenam, be dedicated to his work. Yang ketujuh, be thorough and pay attention to details. A well thought out teaching plan and program will help a teacher's productivity. Yang kedelapan, be a good leader and a good friend. A teacher must also be disciplined and student must imitate them. Dan materi yang ketiga yaitu the roles of young learners. Peran pembelajar muda dalam proses pembelajaran, terutama dalam konteks pendidikan, memiliki peran yang sangat penting dalam membentuk masa depan dan karakter mereka. Mereka tidak hanya sebagai penerima ilmu, tetapi juga sebagai agen perubahan yang aktif dalam peran di masyarakat. Young learners have an important role in education, including education recipients and self-development. The young generation is the main target in the education process. Through formal and non-formal education, they gain knowledge, skills, and values that shape their character and personality. Education helps them become independent, responsible, creative, dan noble individuals. Yang kedua, driver of innovation and creativity. While education, young generation tend to be innovators and creative thinkers. They have the potential to create a new solution to various problems faced by society, as will contribute to the development of science and technology. Yang ketiga, shapers of national character. Through education, the young generation is equipped with strong moral and ethical values such as honesty, responsibility, tolerance, and nation spirit. Civic education, for example, plays a role in shaping the character of the next generation of the nation, who are aware of their rights and obligations as good citizens. Yang keempat, agents of social change. The young generation has high energy and to make change with adequate education. They can play an active role in various social, political, and economic activities, and become the driving force uh, in building a better society. Selanjutnya saya akan menjawab dua pertanyaan dari masing-masing kelompok satu. Salah satu karakteristik pembelajar muda adalah senang bekerja dalam kelompok dan berkolaborasi. Bagaimana cara kita sebagai calon guru apabila anak-anak mengalami ketidaksetujuan antar satu sama lain di dalam kelompok mereka? An answer: if children in a group have disagreements, we as prospective teacher must be able to mediate without immediately taking sides. Let them express their opinion one by one and encourage them to listen to each other. Sometimes they don't really understand each other's perspective, so help them see the problem from various sides. After that, direct them to find a solution. Together, explain that in group work, not all desires can be fulfilled, so they need to learn to compromise. If the problem is about dividing tasks, try to help them divide roles according to their interests and abilities, so that everyone feels fair. In addition, I'll also teach them about the importance of empathy and mutual respect. Remind them that difference of opinion are natural and can be strength if managed well. After the problem is resolved, invite them to reflect on what can be learned and how to improve their cooperation in the future. That why they not only resolve conflicts but also learn social skills that are useful and in life. Yang kedua, bagaimana pendidik dapat membedakan antara kebutuhan anak untuk bergerak secara alami dengan perilaku yang mungkin menunjukkan gangguan perhatian atau hiperaktif. As educators, we need to be able to distinguish between children who are naturally active and need to move, and those who maybe showing sign of attention deficit disorder or hyperactive. The easiest way is to look at the context and consistency. Active children can usually still focus if they are interest in something and can calm down when asked. But if your but if your child is constantly restless, easily distract in various situations, or has a hard time following rules, it it's called a be it called be a sign of attention deficit disorder. Also, pay attention to how often and how long they fight. Active children may like to move, but they can still control themselves if told. On the other hand, if your child can sit still at all, often interrupts or moves around without a clear purpose, is called be a psych on hyperactive. Baik, untuk pertanyaan untuk kelompok 2, bagaimana cara memastikan bahwa metode yang digunakan tetap menyenangkan bagi anak-anak tanpa mengurangi efektivitas pembelajaran sehingga anak-anak tidak mudah hilang fokus dalam pembelajaran. Create an interactive and varied learning atmosphere. Children get bored easily if the method is the same. So intersperse it with games, discussion, or physical activities that are still connected to the material. In addition, connect the lesson to things they like. For example, finally, pay attention the rhythm of learning. Children need a break to stay focused, so give them a short break or create more relaxing activities in the middle of learning. Selanjutnya, bagaimana seorang guru dapat mengembangkan gaya mengajar yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan siswa. Guru bisa mengembangkan gaya mengajar yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan siswa dengan mengenali cara mereka belajar, mencoba berbagai metode, dan beradaptasi jika suatu cara kurang efektif. Fleksibilitas itu penting, misalnya mengganti ceramah dengan diskusi atau praktik langsung jika lebih mudah dipahami. Selain itu, sering berinteraksi dengan siswa membantu guru lebih peka dan menyesuaikan pendekatan agar pembelajaran tetap menarik dan efektif, agar siswa tidak mudah merasa bosan atau ke distract. Guru bisa melakukan ice breaking ketika siswa sudah mulai bosan dengan pembelajaran tersebut. Selanjutnya, pertanyaan untuk kelompok 3, bagaimana cara kita sebagai seorang guru mengajarkan anak-anak untuk merefleksikan diri demi kemajuan mereka. Yang pertama itu kita mengajak mereka untuk mengobrol santai, untuk kita tanyakan bagaimana rasanya belajar tadi, bagaimana pembelajaran tadi, biar mereka lebih nyaman untuk cerita, nyaman untuk terbuka ke kita. Terus gunakan pengalaman mereka, ingatkan proses belajar dari kesulitan ke keberhasilan. Yang ketiga, bantu mereka untuk melihat sisi baik dan kurangnya. Jangan cuma fokus kesalahan saja, tetapi juga apa yang sudah bagus. Selanjutnya, bagaimana cara pelajar muda dapat membangun kemandirian dalam belajar. How young learners can develop social skills. Yang pertama itu study with friends, discussion or group work help them get used as to talking and collaboration. Yang kedua, be brave to ask a question and share opinion. Don't be afraid to speak up in class. It helps build confidence. How to build independence and learning. Yang pertama, create a study schedule. Get us to managing time without always being told. Yang kedua, find a suitable learning method, whether through videos, notes, or practice question. Choose what works best. Baik, itulah yang sempat saya sampaikan. Mohon maaf jika banyak salah kata. Saya masih belajar dan akan tetap terus belajar. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.